This is Siva speaking. It's Christmas time now, and today I'm going to show you how to make Thiples. Thiples, it's made with eggs, flour, a little bit of ouzo, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, and the flour. Thiples is another word for it. It's called honey rolls, but we'll call them Thiples. We have a dozen of eggs already broken and put in a dish. I use 12 yolks and 6 whites. So we'll put them in our blender, okay? And we'll wash them a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to put just 1/3 of sugar. Okay. We're going to use a little bit of ouzo. Gives it a nice flavor. Just about, maybe we measure, just about a soup spoon. Okay, maybe a little bit more for the taste. And then we're going to use a little bit of a lemon juice just to give it a little bit of crispness, okay? Just a little bit. Maybe a couple of tablespoons, okay? Then we'll have to use a teaspoon of baking powder. We also need 1/3 of milk. Okay, just put it in nice and slow and let everything mix up. In here I have measured 4 cups of flour. Okay. We're going to put the flour a little bit at a time inside, but at the end we're going to use our hands. I took it out from the machine, okay, and now I have to use my hand. Obviously, 4 cups of flour wasn't enough. To be honest with you, when I do them, I never measure. I do it all by the way it feels. Now I all measure 7 cups of flour, okay, and I think it's going to take all the 7 cups because it's got to be nice and firm because we're going to open it up in strips. Now we got all our 7 cups of flour inside, and I added a tablespoon of vanilla, okay. Now I've taken it out and I knead it a little bit on my board. It's got to be nice and not really hard, but good to work with, okay? Because we're going to use our pasta machine to make it into strips. In Greece, we used to use olive oil, but I don't know, I find that for frying a little bit too heavy, the olive oil, okay? So we're going to stay with the vegetable oil. So we put in our fry pan quite a little bit, okay? About, not quite half, but half our fry pan, okay? And before we start, we put it on our stove, okay, we put it on the stove in a low heat and we let it get nice and hot. Now we have our machine, pasta machine ready. We have a piece of saran wrap down and just sprinkle it lightly with a little bit of flour. So you have it in a little bit of a large opening. You do it a couple of times around. And then you adjust it to be a little bit closer, okay? My machine don't have numbers to tell you what numbers, but if you use the pasta machine, you will know. Now I'm going to do it a little bit more closer, okay? Alright. Do it a little bit. See, very nice to work with. Okay, and now I'm going to do it just a little bit more closer, and I think this will be our last. Okay? Okay? Now this is a nice long piece. We're going to do 2 Thiples out of here, okay? 2 of them. So I'm working by myself, okay? I don't have anybody helping me. If I had somebody helping me, already I was going to start and fry them. Because I work by myself, that's why I got the saran wrap paper down, and I dampened very slightly my towel. So I'm just going to put it over it to keep it nice and moist, not to get dry. We are ready to fry it. We have the oil on, and we're going to turn the heat a little bit down because it's nice and hot. We have our pan here with paper towels to absorb all the oil. Now, you can't be perfect the first time, okay? This takes long practices. So you put them in, okay? Put them in. Right away you turn them, all right? And then you fold them. Okay? You fold them. You see how they're nice and bubbly? That's how they should be. And you know what? When you get nice and experienced, oh, you can make different. You can make a bows, you can make anything. We're going to do another piece close-up, okay? So the oil is nice and hot. You hold them on one part. You have your knife together, your fork together, and you just put it in, okay? See how nice and bubbly? That's how Thiples should be, okay? So what you do is you just bring them around and around and around. You gotta be a little fast. That's okay though, in the beginning it's fine. We finished our Thiples, we fried them. They're right here, okay? Now, when you do Thiples, it's good to let them stand for 2-3 days in a cool place. Just put a nice clean linen sheet over it, not plastic, no, just so to let them breathe, okay, so they become nice and crispy. Take some walnuts, you ground them real fine, you put a little bit of sugar, maybe 2 tablespoons of sugar and a little bit of cinnamon. You mix them all up and you have them all ready. I make my syrup ahead of time. I made it in a big pot because this type of syrup is good for baklava, it's good for Thiples, it's good for a lot of things. You let it boil real nice and for about half an hour, and how you test it is you put a little bit down on your stove and then you feel it, and you feel it that it has a little bit of body and it's not runny, it just stays in a little bowl when you put it down, so that means it's ready, okay? Very important when you do your syrup, the end of it, you take 2 good tablespoons of lemon to put it in, that way it keeps it from becoming sugary. So now I'm gonna show you how you pass them through the honey. So you take each dipla, you put it in, you turn it around, make sure that honey goes all over it, okay? Nice, and like that. You let the syrup go down and you put it in a clean plate. I'm gonna do another one, okay? So this is nice and cold. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to turn it 2-3 times around, like that. And then I'm going to drain all the liquid. I'm going to put it down. And then I'm going to put the walnuts on top. Another way to do it is you take a bottle of honey. And then all you do is just drizzle it up on with honey like that. Like that. And then you put the walnuts on. That's another way to do it. We do this for our weddings, we do it for Christmas. This is a very popular sweet. It's a little bit hard to do. You need 2 people to do it. Like today we did them in no time at all with the help of Nula. Thank you, Nula.
You're welcome.
And that's it for now. See you again.